world that we live in now talks as if the yin and yang symbol is ideal cut in half. You understand? This video in the background that you're seeing was a video about young boys needing to be more emotional, and that's the key to life. When we already have all of the young boys in the emotional state. And then once real life begins at 18 for a man, they start to realize their whole life as they knew it crumbles. This particular society believes that masculinity in general is toxic, but don't want to explain what positive masculinity is. They just want to put it in a bad light in general, to push up femininity as something that should be ideal and the only thing to rule the world by itself. And if you do that, that would equal this society that we live in, the gynocracy. Okay. When you got young boys that grow up with just their mom, and their mom know that they don't know everything, but she lets her pride take over and her ego take over in the form of trying to push them to get a college education and get one girlfriend, let that girl treat you any way she wants, because she might be the only one that wants you, and things like that. A whole bunch of scarcity mindset type of things. All these ideas come from the feminine aspect of looking at things. I would call it a more negative aspect from the scarcity mindset side of femininity. Okay. But see, femininity itself is the darkness. The moon is coupled with that. But without the sun, which is masculinity, that moon won't have that bright white reflection coming from the sun to light the night skies. It would be darkness. You understand? Chaos. And that's what we have now. Because in this particular video right here, it was a psychiatrist, a woman that's been studying young boys for over 30 years. It was saying how at a younger age, they say how they want to have, she was saying that the boys want to have intimate relationships with each other, and which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at females, they use that word girlfriend pretty loosely because it could be their real girlfriend or it could just be their friend. But see, when you put that onto, and you know, it could literally mean that them two girls is fucking. You understand? So when you put that terminology with a logical, masculine minded boy growing into a man, you confuse him. You got a whole lot of boys out here that's confused. I know when I turned 18, I was so confused from this society that we live in. Because what I was told was to go to college. Okay, if you don't go to college, there's no other options. You're going to be out on the street. You're going to be a failure. You know what I'm saying? And those are the kind of things that can bring depression, as she was saying, onto young men. It's not the emotional attachment to other boys. You know what I'm saying? And then they brought on this kid right here, and then another dude that I think pretty much was, he was not straight, because he called, you know, he said that this society says that you has to be straight, and then he referred to other dudes as straight. You know what I'm saying? So they know the people who they want to put forth to push messages like this, and then they push it out there to actively attack the young men so they can keep reproducing. It's just like breeding. You know what I'm saying? Each generation, you get a result. You get a result. You get a result. And the result they're trying to get is to get more feminine boys. So the gynocracy can still maintain a stronghold. But it don't really matter what they do. Because when they hit 18, just as I did, my brothers did, you wake up and then you realize most of the shit that we are told is a fucking lie. And then we're told, we was given everything that you needed, so you're the failure and shit like that there. You know what I'm saying? Then you just gotta leave that shit behind. Cause they was talking about loneliness. That's where loneliness come from. Feeling like you didn't do it right. Feeling like you was unsuccessful as a man. When all you was just manipulated into a certain construct in this society so they can manipulate you throughout your whole life by using you for a job, using you as uh, a bill for student loans, and then having you work in their jobs till retirement, and then they give you some chump change at the end. That'll put any man into a depression or loneliness. The only way you can become lonely is trying to fit in. But once you realize that all this shit is a fucking illusion, and you're the one that's a creator, the masculine principle is here to create, form boundaries, and to control. Bring the control. Because without control, there's chaos. And that's what we have here. Boys that don't identify themselves as boys, growing into young men, growing into a grown man. they become confused with words such as intimate, intimacy, and then they put boys after that. So they can be confused like women when it comes to the word girlfriend or girlfriends. And then that perpetuates behavior because they're getting it into their subconscious mind and repeating it throughout their life. So they they think that it's true. So that's the main secret weapon of society, is to attack the subconscious mind by repeatedly saying things and doing things to normalize it. Okay? So there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. But one thing I can tell you is there's a such thing as confusion, low masculinity, which is pretty much showing up. Most men have low testosterone. So that would equal that they're feminine because their estrogen is high. Estrogen is the female hormone. So what that tell you? You understand? And I can't really break it down, like I do, like when it comes to the nutritional aspect of things, when it comes to, you know, this type of stuff. Like, um, like I don't know everything about spirituality and the Bible, where we come from, but I can tell you the basics. But I can point you in the direction of somebody that I know what they saying is true, and I'm gonna link them down in the comment section. The name of his channel is Pimp Guy. Okay, Warren B. So if you ever want to learn more about this stuff, go there. But pretty much, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of confusion happening out here. So the point of these videos is to untangle your mind, unravel your masculinity, because it has literally been tangled up throughout your whole life. And you might be turning 18 today. And my purpose is to straighten out the confusion in men, because there's so many things that we've been lied to, especially young black men. Because you know what I'm saying, it's so crazy. It's so crazy how much we've been lied to about a lot of things. So go ahead and subscribe, do all that good shit to keep updated, so we can get your mind untangled. Because if your mind ain't right, your life is going to perpetuate itself into your life. And I'm talking about your subconscious mind. Okay? Now that shit I know about, the subconscious mind. But over time, I'm going to always keep learning. And I give it to you guys. But I'm just giving one of you guys the sources of where I learn, so y'all can learn with me. Okay? But that's literally my purpose. My purpose is to help you guys, especially, you know, the men, especially black men, because uh, the time is coming where order will be restored. So I just want you guys to be ready and sustain yourself. Sustain yourself. If you want to go to college and you have a plan for that, you know the ins and outs, the pros and cons of having that student loan, and how you gonna get that money back, then go ahead and do it. But have some type of business. Start a business, LLC. Okay, we're here to create. That's the masculine principle. It's not toxic.